Hey everyone, we are live and we are doing an interview today. Just as I wait for our guest to hop on, I thought I would just again thank everyone for this growing community of people who are engaging with each other and willing to help each other out. So I just want to thank everyone. I'm really enjoying these interview formats. It's something that's actually outside my comfort zone. I typically don't do interviews, so this is something that I'm really trying to push with myself, and this will be a nice little chat, a very unique chat, I think. So I'm really excited to kind of get going with this little live chat here. And again, as we're waiting for our guest to arrive, I kind of look at David Letterman as my inspiration. As I was growing up, I always watched David Letterman when I was, watching the late night shows. So definitely some inspiration there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Just gonna see if our guest is on here. This will be an interesting chat because it's going to get more into learning and the education system, and I think that'll be really fun.
Hi.
Hey,
Taking a while.
yeah, we got it figured
Yeah.
out. Awesome. Welcome. How's uh
Yeah, it
how's the
just took a while to
Wi-Fi?
get the video to upload. I'm in Cambodia. What?
Yes, Cambodia.
Yes.
Awesome.
Welcome.
We'll work with the lag and we'll work with the Wi-Fi. It's awesome that you've come on to join us. I'm really fascinated by your history and what we were talking about on Facebook Messenger, so I thought I needed to get you on and really get into learning and education and things that that you love to do. And maybe if we can start and just have you, introduce yourself and talk about where you are. I think people would love to know where you're at.
I am in Sihanoukville, Cambodia, which is the very southern part of Cambodia, right on the coast, on the Gulf of Thailand. I teach at a community school. It's an international school. It's also a community school. There's two separate sections. The Khmer side is where I teach English, and then there's the international side where there's kids from all over the world, and they learn in English. And in our school, we teach
Oh wow.
English, and pretty soon I'm switching to the international side, so I'll be teaching English, math, and science. This is my third
Oh
country in
nice.
4 years, so I'm well versed in moving.
Yeah, how are you liking Cambodia? Like the just the education system and where you are and what are your thoughts on it?
Um, Cambodia feels like a new country. As I was telling you, it's only been 45 years since the Khmer Rouge and the mass genocide of the Khmer people. The first thing the Khmer Rouge did
Mm,
was they killed the teachers, the professors, and anyone with any education. So it's strange, you'll see a very big generation gap here. There's a lot of middle-aged folks and there's a lot of young folks, but what you won't see here is a lot of people of the older, your grandparents and your great-grandparents generation. So when you start to notice that you feel like you understand that this is a very new country. Their education system, therefore, because they don't have, I don't want to, I want want to say this politely, they don't have people building curriculum and syllabi um, like you would see in other countries. So
Mhm.
what we're doing is trying to, like with this school, we spent the first weeks, some of the foreign teachers and I, building curriculum and syllabi and trying to get everything, trying to get it focused on a timeline so that these children could meet requirements every 3-month testing, the importance of grading and meeting with parents. And so
Mm.
that's what we do here, and it's very tough. Um,
Yeah.
the country itself is amazing, and the people are so kind in Cambodia. Honestly, the Khmer
Mm.
people are really quite generous and very lovely, and the food's great. So that's always a plus.
What's your favorite Cambodian dish that you've tried?
well, well, amok is amazing. Amok is I don't know how you would explain it, like a lemongrass cream with chicken or fish in it, and it's steamed in a banana leaf. They make the banana. They make a little cup with the banana leaf, and also
Mm.
banana flour salad, which is to die for. So,
Oh
yeah.
wow. No, that sounds cool.
And then the street
Uh,
food is really great too, but you have to be very careful in Cambodia. So I love street food, but I've learned my lesson. I learned my lesson in my first month not to do that.
I guess it's not like the food trucks over in North America here.
Right? Ah, I miss the food carts in Portland, Oregon. I miss you, Portland, Oregon. Yeah, no,
Yes,
you don't do
that's where
that
you
here.
were.
Yeah.
No. Up here in Vancouver, the food carts and the food trucks have really taken off. So it's just really interesting. But I hear Portland's got fantastic meals. So, but I
You
guess we forgot to
visit.
talk about, yeah, we forgot to talk about the show and tell. I don't know if you had your item or any kind
Well,
of
I didn't get my
digital or
giant
physical
suitcase
item.
down, but I have a giant suitcase, and when I say giant, I mean giant, and I have two of
Yeah.
them. That's how I move around the world. But I do. This is I decided last night when I was thinking about it, I would never be able to do what I do without my passport. And then my
Mm.
other most important things are my journals. I have many of these. They move around the world because I write every day. Actually, usually in the
Mm.
morning and in the evening. So um, I've been writing about my experiences and my life, the goods, the
Mm.
bads, pretty much anything. It's not like a
Yeah.
dear diary because I'm not 12 years old anymore, but
I'm sure
but
I'm
it
sure these
helps to
experiences.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm sure these experiences you could almost publish a book with what you're learning here. Yeah.
Actually, one of my teacher friends and I talk about that a lot because there's a little boy in the Khmer side, on the national side. His name is Marvin. He's 3. He's from Thailand, so he doesn't, he barely understands Khmer. He definitely doesn't speak English. He lives in Cambodia, and he has this backpack with wheels. Marvin sleeps with the backpack. He walks with the backpack. He goes everywhere with this backpack. And we decided there needs to be a book called Marvin and His Magical Backpack. We don't know.
Yeah.
There may be nothing in the backpack, but for some reason, it's like when a child carries a blanket or a teddy bear. You cannot take Marvin's backpack.
Mm, yeah.
So, but that's
That's
the best part about teaching is the people you meet.
yeah.
Yeah.
What would be the I guess the greatest experience you've had with the children there and who you've seen that's really maybe inspired you, maybe a story that stands out to you. Hello? Hello? Sorry, we have some lag issues.
No, it's Cambodia.
Awesome. It cut out right when I asked the question. I don't know. We lost you there. Right after the question. If you wanted to repeat uh, any stories that you had there.
Oh, well, other than Marvine, I mean, you have to. there's there's loads of stories, but
Yeah.
I guess like if to talk about ESL experience, I would warn anybody about teaching in China after spending 2 years there. As an
Hmm.
experience, it was not a good experience. I felt, for the most part, it was an experience that I could have easily skipped, but I tried. Most of the problems were around uh, contractual agreements and employers honoring them, which I had 3 different contracts in China and never were they honored. So that was very difficult for me. Um, and the living conditions in China, um, the big cities. There's nothing but big cities. So
Hmm.
if you think about trying to take 3 subways to get not even across one city, that's China, and that's yeah.
Mm.
But I would say the best experience, honestly, was standing on the Great Wall of China.
Mm.
Yeah, but everything else I could have skipped. I'm so trying to be nice.
No, I think the honesty and just the raw discussion based on experience, I think that's the most important thing. And I
Yeah,
mean that's what people really identify with. Yeah.
yeah, I would warn anybody, and if you do really want to teach in China, then do it, but you have to do your research and you have to ask people. I've
Mm.
been considering creating a Facebook page around like warnings for different schools, institutions, and they have what they call recruiters in China that recruit teachers, and that was my first big mistake was joining with a recruiter. Um, uh, who sent me pictures of an apartment, which ended up not being the apartment that I was given. Um, yeah, nothing he said was truthful, and so I feel like these things are important, but they're out there on Google, but maybe there needs to be a better platform for them. So. Um,
Yeah.
and in Ecuador, the greatest experience was the Galapagos Islands. And
Mm.
uh, I taught for the oil companies. I taught business English at the international oil companies in Quito, which was a really great job. But it's very expensive in Ecuador due to the taxes and the import taxes.
Mm.
So making ends meet is a little bit more difficult. So,
Yeah.
then in Cambodia, Um, well, I've only been here 2.5 months, so I'm just learning.
Yeah. When I guess when you talked about the syllabi and developing the syllabi for the education system, do you have like a structure in place that you've used in the past and that works for Cambodia, or do you have to adjust the syllabus de depending on the school system that's set up there?
We're using, well, we have to follow, they have their own Ministry of Education here. So you have to follow their school year and when they're doing their Khmer testing. So the English,
Mm.
so we're working within those time frames, but they had no syllabi at this school. And so is it okay to say the name of the company of the books that we're using?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We're using
Anything
Macmillan
goes.
English books. So the syllabi and curriculum are following their units, and and we're doing each unit on a 2-week time frame, so it gives us a chance to help the children better understand, not to rush. So I teach grade 3 and I teach grade 4, but their levels of education would actually be considered in Western countries grade 1 and grade 2. So the books we're using, so we had to go through and test all of the kids. They hadn't been properly tested to see what levels they were at. And so now that we've tested them, they're in their appropriate classes. Now, grade 3 will use the grade 2 Macmillan book. Grade 4 will use the grade 3 Macmillan book. And so, but our syllabi and our curriculum allow for these different levels. That being said, there are grade 3 students who are grade level 1 English, and they're still in grade 3 because you can't have more than 20 kids in a class. After that, you're running into problems of them not paying attention, or you're not able to reach out to each one of them individually and help them. So the classes, you have to be flexible, and you have to be aware who is at a lower level so that you can give them appropriate attention, worksheets for their level. It's very common here to have classes. When I move to the international side, I'll be teaching grade 4, 5, and 6 in one class. They're together in the classroom. So when I teach math and science and English, I have to teach at 3 different levels. So it's how it goes. You adjust, you work it out as you show
Well,
you make it work.
yeah. Well, I mean that's really fantastic for the kids, though. I would think with 20 students in a class, that lends itself well to a really nice, uh, you know, experience. Because when I was growing up, I think it was like 30 students, and then when I got into university, it was like 200, 300, 400 for the lectures.
Yeah. And in China, the classes, the classroom size was 40. So
Nice.
yeah,
No, that's
that was crazy. And you had, because very few Chinese people speak English, my teaching assistants didn't speak English. At least here I
mm,
have teaching assistants who speak enough English, but there,
yeah.
there it was not the same.
Wow.
So,
How many students are in the school itself? And you've got the two there.
let's see. To get on the national side, on the Khmer side, if I were to guess, I would say 300,
Mm,
300 or so on the Khmer side, give or take. And the school is only 4 or 5 years old. And on the international side, there's about 150, 200. That side is still
mm,
growing. That side is very new. So
yeah.
the Khmer side is 4 or 5 years old. So,
Mm,
but
wow.
because the CEO of the school started, I mean, there's a pretty big expat community here, and he started to notice that there was a need for more international education because it's a lot harder for these international children to go to school that's Khmer, almost 100% Khmer. So,
Mm,
yeah.
wow.
Yep. And we have
Excellent.
children from Russia and France and
Oh, wow.
I mean all over. Yeah, Americans, Canadians. So
Oh, that's really interesting. Are they there living, or is it like an international? Mm,
most of them are here living. A lot of them have businesses, hotels,
yeah.
hostels, restaurants. One
Wow.
of my students is her parents own a supermarket because they import Western type foods from Europe. So mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's exciting with the diversity and whatnot. Uh,
yeah.
I, I guess another thing you were talking, I noticed in the group you were talking about doing business transcription services and whatnot. Is that something you're kind of doing on the side as like a little side project, or?
Yep. I have my headphones here because I have some stuff this afternoon I have to do. Because I love writing, I've been
Mm,
obviously create, the English grammar, creative writing, technical writing. Um, I want to start putting that into a more useful aspect instead of just my journals, which is
mm,
fine, but at
yeah.
some point perhaps I should come into the 2017 and do it in the actual computer. But I want to do that and start creating more of a business for the technical transcriptions, and editing and proofreading too. I want to sort of work in that whole arena. It is definitely a side project. I would probably only be
Yeah.
able to devote 20 or 30 hours a week, but I think that's plenty,
Mm.
because it
Oh,
takes.
yeah.
I teach Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So this is my way to make ends meet, because teachers in Cambodia maybe don't make a lot of money.
Mm.
Yeah,
I,
we don't.
wow.
We
You
do it
you
here
think
because
that
we
would
love
maybe
it,
be?
but it's not a money maker.
No.
So,
I mean, it's good that on one end though, it's 20 to 30 hours on top of the full-time education that you're teaching. How do you balance the two?
um, the balance has to come on the weekends. So
Yeah.
at night, I would only be able to have 1 or 2 hours, because there's
Hmm.
also time for me, just to rest and relax after a long day. But my weekends I can devote to transcription, because I can take my laptop, and most of the beaches here have restaurants with really great Wi-Fi. So I can go to the beach and I can, do my transcriptions. I have these great headphones or
Yeah.
headset, and be able to do both. So,
Hmm. How
and then
did
at
you?
night at home, I mean, yeah, I have Netflix and I do love to watch a great show now and again on Netflix, but I can do my transcription and then I can, do whatever I need to do at night. So,
Mm.
yeah.
How did you find your first customer, or recurring customers to get up to 20 to 30 hours a
I'm
week?
not yet there. That's my goal,
Mm.
is 20 to 30
That's the goal.
hours.
Yeah.
So there's
Perfect.
a transcription for, oh, I don't know the link, but I can put it on there. There's a
For
transcription
sure.
for newbies, for new people. Um, and I know one of them is called transcribeme.com, and the other one I think is rev.com, rev.com. And they will hire
Mm.
new people. You just need to pass the transcription, the test. There's a small test for each one. Of course, it's 60 words per minute, and some are 70 words per minute. So but as a teacher, that's no problem. So once you pass those tests, they will funnel you jobs. You can apply for jobs, and just start filling up your schedule as need be. Eventually, I want to do it. I want to create my own separate transcription, web page and
Mm.
workplace. But I need to practice and get into editing
Yeah.
and proofreading, and be able to find and market to the masses. But I'm
Yeah.
so new at this, and marketing and sales. I don't. Yeah, that's not my. I don't know anything yet about that.
No, I mean it's great though that you've sourced these platforms that really take a lot of the stresses out of finding the opportunities. So that's really great. Yeah.
Yeah, the website, the Facebook pages have been amazing. The responses
Yeah.
from people, they are so open and honest, and they don't like. I was talking to my co-teacher yesterday. I'm absolutely amazed at how helpful they are. They don't treat you like oh my God, you're going to take my job. No, they are like, go to this
Mm,
page, find
yeah.
these places that will hire new transcription specialists and editing and proofreading and start from there. Oh, okay. Like, and then of
Yeah.
course Google. Thank God for Google.
Awesome. Yeah.
Find anything.
I know. With it's like with Google, it just makes everything easier. It's just
Honestly, that's how I found all my jobs. That's how I found my job in
yeah.
Ecuador. That's how I found my jobs in China. Facebook and Google were how I found my job in Cambodia, and actually
Mm,
more Facebook than Google at that point. So, yeah,
mm, okay.
it is.
Well, I guess let's finish it off. Well, maybe a couple more questions. What are you really most passionate about, or what gets you excited to either teach your students there, or doing your transcription services? Like what really gets you up and excited in the morning, even though it's Cambodia and it's kind of, hit and miss?
I, well, you know, yes, Fridays be great. We have to do exams. And yesterday, one of my students went from almost a 5% on his very first spelling exam to 75%. And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
what? He studied. Because we've been trying to teach them about studying at home and the importance of
Yeah.
studying and reading books and yeah. And then I had sent a message to his father on Facebook, and I said, I really want you to know that your son, he only got four wrong on his spelling exam, and all of the 5 sentences were perfect. And I just want you to make sure that you know this and you congratulate him. And then an hour later, he posted on Facebook that he and his son and his wife were out to eat, and they were celebrating his son's accomplishments. And
Mm,
it just, yeah, that was fabulous. It
yeah.
felt good. And I just saw yesterday that TED Talk, the iTalks, are looking for free transcriptions to transcribe some of the TED Talks, and I love TED Talks, and so
Mm,
I was going to delve into that today and um,
wow.
see which ones they needed transcribing immediately. Because
Yeah.
I would love to, and I don't mind that it's free, to be honest. I just want to help out because I feel TED Talks are so important. For my business English, I use TED Talks and TED Ed almost every week for their listening because
Mm,
the students could pick the topic, but they had to listen, and I could create the questions, or they could do the questions at the end of TEDEd.com, their questions and writing. And so I just feel like this is my way of giving back because I've used them as part of my education process. So,
wow. Well, TED is fantastic.
right?
Fantastic brand. Their videos. I can't get enough of the quality of the speakers and the production quality.
I know.
You're pretty much,
It's everything. Anything,
yeah.
things I don't even know I want to know, I can turn on a TED and I'll be like, oh, I don't know anything about this. And I'll listen to it while drinking coffee and getting ready for school. And I'll be like, oh my God, amazing.
I
Yes.
feel like it's going to get to a point where we're just going to be teaching by video. Like, here, put this on, watch it, and because like all the material, anything you need to know is now in either video format. You can get it in audio format, and what you're doing is really helpful as well. As audio is significant, but writing. I mean, those are really the three. You've got audio, writing, and video.
Yeah.
So if you got those locked down,
Yeah.
but video is really taking off. So
It is, and for some of these children, they have some TED eds for children, and so for some of these
mm,
children, seeing a young child talk about science or math, it opens their world because education, again, it's so new in Cambodia. Um, the importance of education is starting to blossom here. And so they're seeing
Mhm.
other children talk about why they love math or science, and it just opens, their eyes are huge when they're watching this. So, which is why I love it, and which
Perfect.
is why I'm so grateful that we sometimes have Wi-Fi at the school. Not all the time. So,
Awesome. Well, I guess another last one to kind of wrap it up is, where can people get in touch with you, or if people want to learn about maybe your services there, or I know you're just getting started, so it might not be set up yet, but
not quite set up yet, but of course they
yeah,
can find me on your page and
perfect.
Facebook. Um, I am. I have a LinkedIn account, but I'm working on it right now, so it's not quite
Mhm.
there. But Facebook Messenger, actually Messenger is the best way to get in touch with me. Um, and you could get that through your amazing web or Facebook page. Because I have a phone, but yeah, Messenger is really the best way to get in touch with anybody in Cambodia. It's how we talk.
Yeah,
Yeah. And of course, I have a Skype ID. So if you message me and you want to Skype or FaceTime, I can send you that information on Messenger.
perfect. Well, I'm really excited to see what you're going to be doing over the next little while, and as you
Thanks.
get into it, I'm really excited. This is a fun chat and getting to meet you and all the way in Cambodia, which is just incredible.
Yeah.
And
No, I
it's
can't
great.
believe I'm talking to somebody in Canada and Vancouver. I love your city. Anyway,
Oh, thank you.
blow a kiss to the Pacific Northwest. Ah.
For sure. We'll do that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining,
Thank
Dawn, and
you.
we'll definitely be chatting in future to
Yes.
see how everything's going.
Okay,
Definitely.
thank you, and everybody
Awesome.
have a great, well, it's Saturday here, so have a great Friday there, and I'll have a
Yes.
Saturday.
Perfect. Yes. Happy Saturday. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Take care, Dawn. Bye.
Bye.